Yeah, Jake Dick with Nevada Department of Agriculture, Noxious Weed Coordinator. A lot of my role focuses on enforcing the regulatory statutes of noxious weeds in Nevada. So a lot of what I do is if we get complaints of noxious species or reports of noxious species, we can, depending on the category of the noxious species, follow up with the landowner and either just educate them or request management plans from the landowner. I'm also managing some of our federal funding that we received to treat noxious species. We kind of saw a reduction in funding for a while, and I think we lost our coordinator position for a while, and so our reports weren't very well, and I think because of that we saw a big reduction in funding, but I'm hoping to build that back up, and we did just recently get additional funding. So hoping to put some proposals together to address noxious species. And then I oversee a lot of our other programs, or help oversee and manage a lot of our other programs. So we have our biological control program, which Andrea Mo really takes the lead on that. We just got our 526 permit in Nevada, so we can import biocontrol agents now, which is great. Oversee, and Andrea kind of takes the lead on our certified weed-free program. And then I also oversee Yozo's position working with NDOT, and then I'm trying to think. We are also trying to revisit early detection rapid response in Nevada, which I can cover in this presentation. So. Okay. Yeah, it's just kind of my introduction. And yeah, so just go forward with the presentation.
Here, I got the clicker ready for you. Just
cool.
arrow back and forth there. It's right there beside you. Just really quick, everyone online can see the presentation, correct?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
And I probably have, I was only planning on 20 minutes, but if you want to go in more detail on any of these, I can. It's kind of what we've been working on at NDA. I wanted to show that classic invasion curve, because the programs I'm talking about are kind of related to this. So when we're looking at weed-free, our weed-free programs, hopefully you guys can see me. When we're talking about like right before prevention, and when we're talking about EDRR, we're talking, right around here. And then when we think about biocontrol, we're a little bit more on this end of things. That's kind of, I just wanted to show that curve of when we're talking about these different programs. If it's weird when it's if it's an early detection rapid response species, our goal is probably going to be that trying eradication instead of using biocontrol to control that species. So I just wanted to bring that up. And then, yeah, so this is our weed-free certification program. Andrea Mo heads this one, and good news, and the reason Andrea Mo isn't here to join us right now is Andrea Mo just joined the NISMA executive board, so that's great. So we have a better voice in Nevada with that national NISMA. And if you're not aware, NISMA is the North American Invasive Species Management Association, and they do a lot of great things from having weed-free certifications to, I think they manage Play Clean Go, and they do a lot of cool biocontrol updates as well. So our weed-free program, basically what we're doing is we're certifying weed-free straw and hay, weed-free gravel, and we just started certifying weed-free mulch. So those are the products that we're looking at, and I think they're possibly going to add compost too, but really it's meant as a prevention strategy. And it kind of gives our producers, it's a voluntary program, but our producers can kind of, they get weed-free certified, and then they can sell their product at a premium, or it opens the windows up for who they can sell to. What we're really trying to do with the program is increase the weed-free products being used. And when I mean weed-free, I mean weed-free certified products. Like, so if there's an NDOT project, trying to use the weed-free certified project, if there's a Forest Service project, we really want to try and get our partners to use more weed-free certified language in their projects if possible. And if anyone can't find producers, or if there's a producer that that you'd like to have weed-free certified, have them contact us and Andrea, and then she can work with them getting certified. So I think the more we kind of push this, the more producers will sign up. And we're working on it internally as well too. So yeah, just wanted to give just kind of a general update on that. The weed-free hay has a specific twine on it that shows it as certified weed-free. We just put a big order in for that twine. And then there's, certificate is issued. I'm not as familiar with the program with Andrea, but I believe if there was like something like cheatgrass found on the site, that would still get reported. If there was other non-noxious species on the site, that would still get reported. So just want to do a quick overview of that program. If we have more questions, we can go back to it. But this is the weed-free twine in the upper right. And then you can see these signs every once in a while that's certified weed-free. I'm not sure who put up those signs, but I'm happy when I see them. I think it's pretty cool. And then we do the weed-free gravel. Here's a site. And then here's some restoration work being done. I know that Montana certifies wattles, you know, so if that's something that maybe I need to kind of follow up with them and see how they do it, but I know they probably certify where the material is coming from and then just look at the process. But if that's something that we're interested in getting Nevada, I think that'd be really cool. So that's our weed free. We can go back to it if anyone has specific questions. This is what we're trying to address. I think this picture is totally staged. You know, it's like I don't think it's real. I mean, I know yellow star thistle's pretty nasty, but I mean, there's not even soil in that thing. But I mean, that's basically what we're trying to address. Is just preventing the spread of these weed-free materials, especially in these projects. You know, where they're sensitive projects, and we don't want to bring in that noxious material, that noxious weed seed propagated material. A lot of the work I've been doing on recently, last year, going into this year, and we're going to continue to do it, is working on our early detection rapid response plan as a state. We kind of revisited what we're doing in 2020, and we're still going to be revisiting it. It's going to be an ongoing living document. That's why I have draft written all over it. So in this document, what we wanted to do was identify a list of what we want to list as early detection rapid response species, and then how we want to respond to those species. So in Nevada, what we did for our list is we took all category A species, and then the first year we added Medusa head. And then the second year we talked about adding leafy spurge and Carolina horse nettle and silverleaf nightshade from a category B list. And if you're not familiar with Nevada noxious weed regulation or the statutes, we have 3 different categories of noxious species. The category A are pretty limited distribution or don't even occur in the state yet. The Bs are widespread, but they're in big pockets. You know, so if we're seeing a species pop up in an area, say Medusa head in Washoe County where it's prevalent, but it pops up somewhere maybe in Lyon County or something, we want to treat it as an EDR response. You know, we want to be really proactive and aggressive to treat that. And then part of our internal procedure, which has been a lot of work for us, and I think it's working though, is when we get a report of an EDR species, we follow up with the land manager and have them develop a management plan to address those species. And then this year, we're trying to follow up on all the plans we received from last year. So we're getting there, we're getting better at it, and we're kind of adjusting it as we go, but I think we have a good plan moving forward. This last group, and I haven't been I'm new to the coordinator position. I've been here for a year, but I mean, I think what we needed to do is get more people to the table. We broke up Nevada in these regional groups. We have the Western region, the Eastern Central region, and then the Southern region. And there's a lot of people that we invited to the Western region, but if anyone from this group wants to be on that list, that includes you, I have the notes from those other meetings that I can send you as well. So we're going to try and meet in the spring and in the fall, and then I have an annual statewide meeting planned for February, January to kind of just discuss at a statewide level what we're trying to plan in early detection rapid response wise. We have a little information sheet, and we need to update this, but if that helps get information out on how to report noxious species and what the EDR species we're looking at, let me know. It's on our website and we can give you that information. I need to update what's actually on the list though. And it just kind of has them, hey, how to report an EDR species, how to, you know, link to EdMaps or just take a picture, send it to NDA. But that's kind of what we're trying to accomplish with that document. And yeah, I wanted to point out, and what's really important with these regional breakout groups is, you know, our focus as a regulatory agency is the noxious listed species. That's where we have regulatory authority over those species. But if there's species that the group wants to know when they're popping up, and so they can do their own early detection rapid response efforts, I think that's really important to know. Like we have this pop up occasionally, we have this species stink net that popped up in Southern Nevada through an iNaturalist report, you know? And it's not something that's on our noxious weed list, but because it's becoming a big problem in Southern Nevada and in, I believe, Arizona, that group was able to identify and eradicate that species from where it was reported. So I think what we want to know at these regional groups is other species of concern. And we do have regulatory authority to list a species temporarily as noxious. I know Idaho just did that with Kogon grass. I don't know if we've ever done it in the past, but if we needed to, we probably could. And then this is what we're trying to accomplish with the, a part of what we want to accomplish with that state meeting is we want to get all the data into EdMaps and have that data available for all interested partners. So trying to collect our data from our federal agencies and then the state and public agencies, and I'll get that into EdMaps and then share at that statewide meeting. That's what we're trying to accomplish with EdMaps. For you, those of you who don't know, we're going to do a lot more trainings on EdMaps. It's the early detection and distribution mapping system. And then we did a lot of great work on a lot of EDRR species this year. Just kind of a list of the ones we were focusing on. This was a really cool one. Yozo kind of helped this one. We had camel thorn reported in Humboldt County. We thought it was just a few plants. We contacted the county, we contacted NDOT maintenance staff, and then NDF even got involved, and they found a lot more plants than we thought. So this is camel thorn. This is a perennial weed species. They ended up getting their convict crew out there, and they bagged 157 bags of camel thorn out there. So we're gonna have to follow up because it is a perennial species. But I mean, this was a really cool example where like the stars just aligned and everything like fell into place of control. But this is what we're trying to accomplish with that, is just making sure that we capture that stuff. Then the biological control program. Sorry if I'm going over, guys, but
You're okay.
what the species that we're focusing on, and these are kind of historically what's worked for us, is the Russian knapweed, the Canada thistle, the leafy spurge. Those are the big three species we're working on in biocontrol as a state agency. We are looking at other species, you know, and there are other agents coming down the regulatory, the pipeline to get approved. I kind of want to get back into spotted knapweed. It's a pretty big problem on eastern Nevada, and I know that we have those agents properly established, but it might be time to maybe augment those releases, you know, and get a little bit more agents out there. We're looking at purple loosestrife. Purple loosestrife is, you know, one of those early detection rapid response species, but it has some good agents, and you know, we're trying to address it in an early detection rapid response species in Washoe County. But when we look at that species historically occurring there, it's been there for 20 years. So maybe it's time to try and move towards some biocontrol in that area. So, and we have made releases of the agents in Washoe County for purple loosestrife, but it's just kind of a weird one where we have the EDRR listing and then we have it as biocontrol focus too. And that's kind of the same with hound's tongue. Hound's tongue is one of those EDRR listed species, but there is an agent coming down the pipeline that we want to try and start using it next year. So our goal this following year, I think, is to identify some release sites and then try and get that agent established. So that's kind of the agents we're using on. We want to do an annual biocontrol meeting. We're working with Carol Randall, U.S. Forest Service, and Joy Milan on BLM to kind of like coordinate in a statewide meeting, and then just revisit and how can we coordinate biocontrol in Nevada as a whole again and just get back into it. So that's what we're looking to do with biocontrol. Andrea Mo is really taking the lead on that. So if anyone needs more information or just has questions, I can help answer, but that'd be better.
I was with Carol Randall 2 weeks ago in Boise, and she really wants to come back to Nevada.
Yeah, we have funding too. We'll pay for it. Yeah, let's figure something out.
Really wants to come back.
And I think maybe do we plan something where we have, you know, do we go look at a couple of sites? Last time she came, it was a while ago, and when we went to go to Elko, we looked at a lot of different release sites. So we want to try and plan something for the western side of the state. Let's look at that and like get her out here with Joey and you know, talk about biocontrol. I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, we want to try and get her back, and we're going to start planning. Yeah. And then yeah, what we're doing, we're trying to accomplish more is we do a lot of monitoring on these sites, and we're trying to get that information into iBiocontrol just so other partners have access to what our release sites in the past, you know. So one of the big things we've done in this watershed is working Lindsay Boyer in kind of Carson City open space with the Canada rust thistle. So Canada, the what is it? Coccinea, so rust fungus, and it's in a weird state right now. It's kind of in regulatory limbo because it's EPA is trying to figure out that term pesticide. You know, and does this qualify as a pesticide? So we have research sites for this agent that we're allowed to continue to augment and continue to make releases on these sites. But we're being told that we cannot move it from these sites at this point. But I'm hoping that gets cleared up shortly. But this was a site in the Mexican Dam area. This is the first time I've seen it, and I don't have a lot of experience with it. But I mean, we didn't see Canada thistle anymore. We saw corn lily instead. But I mean, it looked like it was working, or I don't know. I couldn't find any damage. It just, we saw less Canada thistle, which was great. That's what happened. So that was an example of biocontrol in this area. Conservation districts, weed districts, and CWMAs. This is kind of like, these are the groups that we want to work with, and when we get funding, this is the groups that we release funding to. So it's usually a competitive process, and our funding is available for conservation districts, weed districts, and CWMAs. I just put like the link for the conservation districts on the website. Weed districts, I tried to contact weed districts recently, and I don't have a good list of all the points of contacts for the different weed districts. And some are a lot more active than others, but all of our weed districts are listed in our NAC. So NAC 555, that's where the weed districts are listed. And then in cooperative weed management areas, we do have a list of all the CWMAs in Nevada, and they're kind of at the same, again, a little bit varying levels of how active they are. But these are the boots on the ground people that are doing weed control that we work with.
What's the difference between a weed district and a cooperative weed management?
So the weed district's actually it's in NAC. It's like it was created through a legislative process. And what's cool about the weed district is, I mean, and I think the CWAs can do it too, but they can create their own list of what they want to list as not just species within that district. A weed district doesn't have to just be a county either. You know, it can be like it can be kind of whatever. It's like usually a designated area of land of what those individuals want it to be. So I probably should look up more information on the differences between CDs, CWMAs, and weed districts. But yeah, weed districts are listed in NAC and kind of work almost as like a governmental, more state governmental agency, I believe. Here's the conservation districts in Nevada. I just put this up on the internet, sorry guys. And then this is on our website. This is our CWMAs. But if you want more information, we do have links to the CWMAs on our website. And then the conservation districts has their own website listing those conservation districts. And then funding opportunities, we just got put in a proposal. It was a lot more EDRR focused this time around. And I put out the request for proposals. Man, I think I was hoping it was late June, but that was probably late July or even August. But that's our 2022 invasive plant cost share. We'll probably get another one of these next year. And what I'm really trying to do is get a lot of that money to our conservation districts, weed districts, and CWMAs. This year we released 2 proposals for $22,000 each to address early detection rapid response species and noxious weed species in Nevada. So those were awarded. And then we just did get some additional $30,000 in funding for the bipartisan infrastructure law. And I got about $9,000. I'm trying to get a proposal released by the end of January to do weed control next year. So it's gonna be kind of a rush, but hopefully I can just get that request for proposals out, set a short deadline, and have that funding awarded. But I want to let you guys know that it's coming and it's going to be there. And this one was meant to address EDR species as well, but there's different tools we can use, I think, to target different priorities if we wanted to do that. So I think our main priorities are, you know, a lot of the funding in the past that was coming from Nevada Department of Agriculture for these cooperative weed management areas, CWMAs and weed districts, targeted sage grouse habitat. sage-grouse priority habitat, and they would get like a bonus 5 points or whatever if it had sage-grouse habitat in there. I still think that's important, but like the language is changing now, and they're starting to shift, you know, to like this defend the core idea. But these are the kind of ideas that I was thinking. This is what's been kind of like tossed around a lot from just listening to other states and what they're doing is, you know, we want to address early detection, rapid response. Sage-grouse habitat is still important to us. But maybe we can also focus on like wildfire prevention and reduction, focus on invasive grass species, you know, or even targeting riparian areas and drought resistance by targeting like our woody invasive shrubs and stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out how we want to get future funding out there. And I might just work on like a survey and send it to CDs, CWMAs, and all that, just to figure out where do we want to target funding in the future. And of course, education and outreach is always important in these grants. And then the other ones that are on my radar, America the Beautiful Challenge. I wanted to apply as a state, but we were limited on the last round to only 3 applications for the state. And I wasn't able to make a proposal. I don't think I was ready to make a proposal yet, but I think we're trying to combine work with other agencies to maybe submit a better proposal. But that funding is available. And then I also wanted to point out that funding could be, there's a route for the state to apply, and then you could designate a geographical area, such as like the Carson watershed if you wanted to. We were working with one through Elko County, you know, so that's also a possibility. If anyone was applying for any of that funding, I'd like to help out as much as possible, even if it's just a letter of support or whatever. So we want to try and get more money for weed control in Nevada, for sure. And then the bipartisan infrastructure law, yeah, we just got that 30,000. I'm expecting to get more, and at least until that runs out. And I think so for the next 4 years, we might have that smaller grant award, but there might be other opportunities there. And then I heard about the Inflation Reduction Act. I'm not really sure. I think that one's more of a climate type focus thing. That's also, those are the ones that are on my radar. And I need to do a deeper dive into these to kind of figure out who they're trying to target, how do we apply. But if anyone has more information, I'd like to work with you, or if anyone wants more information, I'm going to try and look and gather as much as I can. And then there's just a lot of other fundings out there right now. So those are the big 3 that I'm aware of. And then this one, the Foundation Seed Program is another one. Nevada received funding for like basically to get native seed. So we're purchasing a lot of seed, and this is for producers to grow native seed in Nevada. So this is a pretty cool program that we're doing. There's some requirements that you need, but really the goal is to make sure that Nevada has more native seed, and Nevada producers are able to produce native seed for Nevada and restoration projects. So Stephen is a point of contact for that. So seed.agri.nv.gov. He's a good point of contact. I'm really trying to promote that to conservation districts right now. So if you have any information on that, just let them know. And then this is
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
So that the one that you just were on, is that something that then they would be like, how does that work? Is that going to be a like commercial, end up being a commercial operation? Is it something where you guys provide the seed, they grow it, and then so you can collect it? I'm assuming it's to, if it's for restoration, there's this. Yeah. I just wondered what the give and take is, and how does that
I think it's
function?
Yeah, and I'm not Stephen. I'm not as familiar with the product as he is. I think maybe we asked for a little bit of seed in return, but I'm not really sure. And it's basically that they have to be a certified seed producer. So there are some steps for them to take to get there. But I think the goal is really to get those producers up to that level. But
so that they could provide like seed commercially?
Yeah, exactly. So they could be selling their own native seed.
So it's kind of it's a diversity thing. To diversifying your.
As far as I understand, yeah. And I mean, I wish I kind of had the ins and outs of the program requirements, but Stephen and then Russ Wilhelm, they've been really working hard on this.
It seems really like a cool idea.
I know, and I should have brought this up. I should have brought this up to the producer meeting. If you guys want Steve,
yeah, I know that's exactly what
I think we should have him talk to the producer meeting, or at least I can get more information.
No, that would be good. Okay, thank you.
And yeah, this is the team. Andrea Moe heads our weed-free program, biological control program. Yozo, he does the NDOT. So Yozo's great. He reviews all these NDOT contractor plans. So if our requirement working with NDA is contractors now have to submit a weed management plan to us to review, and we're really trying to address noxious weeds that way. Whitney Nash is our newest member of the team. I'm really trying to get her focused on education and educational and outreach material. So if anyone has, you want us to come and talk about noxious weeds, we got a billboard. Whitney's happy to create material and do that outreach component. And then, yeah, I'm just NDA Noxious Weed Coordinator. My goal is really more of that regulatory end and trying to get more funding for weed control in Nevada. So thank you guys for your time. And yeah, just let me know if you have questions. I'll do my best to answer them.
So really quick, let's go online. Is there any questions online?
Just start talking because we can't see you right now because the presentation's up.
This is Yozo right here. This is our EDRR. Let's start this little follow-up that we have in Washoe County.
What a bouquet.
Yeah, beautiful bouquet.